Greetings, viewers. Thanks for joining me today. Going to do the brakes on the Lexus. When I did the longer front wheel studs, I noticed the front rotors were thin, the pads were thin. Back here in the back, these rotors, even though I don't have a problem with the pads being too thin, the rotors are kind of crusty. Decided I'd just go ahead and do them all. I went with upgrade, went with power stop. Drilled and slotted rotors, front and rear. They are, of course, end specific. They are also side specific, so make sure you get them on the correct sides. Drilled and slotted helps get the debris away, helps keep the rotors cooler and the pads cooler. Got the Evolution Plus pads from Power Stop. They're not the highest end ones you can get. They do have complete hardware for the front and rear. They're ceramic, low dust. Definitely an upgrade for my situation. Also going to do the front lower ball joints because there aren't any rear ball joints. I'm going to do the front ball joints, the lower ball joints on this, and brake upgrade all the way around. Go to Rock Auto and shop. I got all this for way less than some places are just selling the brake kit for. So definitely shop around, but go to Rock Auto. You get a cool magnet and a great price and quality products delivered to your door. Boom, Rock Auto commercial out of the way. Let me get this jacked up, get some wheels off, and we'll hit the high points on a brake job for this. Okay, now this is a good opportunity to paint under your vehicle. I like to get underneath there before winter comes and paint all the metal pieces that can rust. It's just a thing I like to do. I like to keep my vehicles nice, coat of nice paint, Rust-Oleum or something like that's what I use. A lot of people do fluid film and stuff, but I think a coat of paint does just as well. Every year I get under my vehicles before winter comes and paint them. So rambling on there, these rotors are supposed to be coated in the areas like here in their flats so that they don't rust, so that they continue their nice appearance through your wheel. We'll see how that goes. You got to have a rag and some WD-40 because you got to spray this surface and wipe any shipping oils or anything off of there before you put your pads on. Pretty basic here. There's screws that hold the rotor on. You take them off. There's a couple 17s right back here and one at the bottom in the same place basically. You'll take those loose and get the rotor out of the way. The screws generally come out pretty easy with the number 2. This has had the brakes done on it before. Look at that. That one ain't even tight. They didn't put the brake pad warning sensor things on. I'm not either because they're expensive and silly in my opinion, and I'm not putting them back on there. It does tell you when on the dashboard when your brake pads get low. Well, I don't need that for the extra money it costs. The plug is still here. The previous owner, also a mechanical friend of mine, like I say, he didn't need that little warning thing on there either to tell him that the brake pads were low. Let me get these broke loose real quick and be right back. Okay, you never know how tight something's going to be. Sometimes I got to get under there and put my feet on them because it just works out that way. You can see how minimal of wear was getting. I mean, that brake, this needed done. There wasn't getting all the brake on the rear. These rotors are looking rough anyway. Kind of dark and stuff when I put the camera in front of the light. Let me get this caliper off and I'll be right back. This has got the same spots like the rotors on the drums on the 4Runner did for you to run a 12 millimeter bolt up in there and help you get these drums off of there. Just takes 12. Got a ratchet. On the back side for your caliper, your lower bolt, you have to use a smaller ratchet. You can't use your half drive. It takes a 3/8 drive. It's smaller because that link is in the way right there and you can't get your ratchet in. Just set your caliper up there until you get your rotor off and changed and your new one bolted back on. Sorry, I'm not watching what I'm doing today. But I'm going to get this off here and get a new one on it. This is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm going to do the front. I'll do the ball joints while I'm there, but I'll probably like edit it around to make a couple of different videos. So if you're not doing brakes or ball joints, you don't need to watch during a brake video. So anyway, that's loose now. I'll get my bolts back out of there, take that rotor off, put the new one on, inspect everything while I'm in there. This will be moving right along. This is where your emergency brake hides. It rides on the inside in here. So of course the new rotor has that same provision for that. Everything there looks fine, nice and clean, nothing leaky, nothing greasy, everything looking dandy. That's the way I like it. I'm gonna put this back together, throw a rotor on there, pads, and be done with this side, move to the front. Hang on just a second. Now you got this apart. There's where your bolts go to bolt it to the part that holds your wheel there, the backing. If I can get this set down someplace and see, there are sliders here. See these sliders on either side? You gotta make sure those slide, and then you gotta push the inner pad in to compress that piston. Pretty basic stuff, but that's what's got to be done. These rear pads still look really good, but they weren't biting on that rotor very well. You can see weird wear and grooves and crap on them. Not a good thing. I'm going to push that inner pad back. That's going to push some fluid back into my reservoir. That's why I left it low from before. And put my new pads of hardware and lube everything up back here. Wrap this rear part up, move around to the front. Okay, so I'm not done on the back yet because this has got a really nice hardware kit. I didn't know it would come with all the guides and everything, so that's pretty sweet. It's got these little guides that help hold the pads in place and keep them pushed towards the middle. They're your sliders also. They keep tension on the pad for no vibration. You got two that got a double thing in them. They go like this, one for each side, and then the other way. I'll show you how to put these little thingies on as I go. But yeah, pop all the old stuff out and put your new pieces in. Nice hardware kit, just had to say. And once you got those all put in, you put these in the inside pad first and just kind of let them hang there. Use a little bit of brake grease to brake lubricant there to lube those slides. Then you put these in, then you drop them in the caliper. Hang on, let me get it done in there so I can show. Okay, so learned something new here. One, getting those clips in and out is a bitch. But they will fit. You got to take this part off. Sorry, my first Lexus rear brake job, didn't know. You got to take this part off. That's the part that bolts to the vehicle and holds the caliper. It's easiest to get those in and out as you do that. But apparently the double ones go to the back, single ones go to the front. You'll push your pads in from outside while this is off. If I can get that one to go now. But yeah, those are nice. Those are nice, definitely, but kind of a bear. I don't understand what's going on. I think that's supposed to go through that. Hang on just a minute. Let me figure this out real quick. Okay. Now I know this is a Lexus, and it's a fancy car. This is the weirdest damn thing I've ever seen with these power stop brake. There's one side of the pad has like a opening in it. You see how that damn thing's going in there? Can you see that? A fucking light? I'm sorry. I'm frustrated. I've never seen anything so freaking weird in my life. See how that goes through the open part of the pad, the double clip one? Regular clip one on the other side. That's according to their website. It says you put them in here first, put the little pinchy things in them holes in the top there, set this on over your caliper or your rotor, and then slide the caliper on over it. So learning something new. I got to tell you, one, getting these things in place is a bear. The first video I looked at told me to put them in wrong. Power Stop's video says that's the way they go. And the second one goes through this opening in the pad. Let me tell you, they're a bear to put on that way. But I got it. Getting my other clippy thing in here, and these will help keep my pads right. And then you bolt all this on and set the caliper on over the top of it. I'm going to do this, and then even though I started the whole thing with front and rear brakes, I'm going to call this one rear brakes. Going to do a part 2 front brakes or something because this is getting way too long. But I'm learning a lot of stuff. I've never done as complicated a brake job on a Toyota. But hey, whoa. Anyway, I'm going to be happy. Look how pretty that is. There's no provision for screws on the new rotor, but there is a provision for the bolts to take it off. So that's a nice thing. I'm going to put this all back together and just show you how it looks like when it's all done and move on from here. Okay, so bolted this piece back on, fully assembled like it's supposed to be. If all that makes sense to you, now I should be able, while you got it apart, that's why I came back, to tell you, make sure your slides are sliding, because this back one's not a double piston or a quad piston, so it has to have sliders. So make sure your sliders are sliding. I'll bolt this caliper back on, then I'm going to move to the front, and I'm going to make a front brake video. So thanks for watching this long, way too long back brake video and part of the front brake video, but when I get done, I'll tell you how freaking awesome it is. Okay, so I thought maybe I'll go ahead and include this front in there because there isn't that much to it. There's this pin or this clip in the back that goes in back here that holds the pins in. And then this quieter piece here, you'll pop, or the silencer piece, you'll push these pins out from the back side like I did in another brake job that I showed, and put new pads in. I'll take the 217s out of the back and pull the whole caliper off while I got it because I'm putting the new rotor on. But otherwise, that's pretty simple. Let me see if I can get that to happen in a simple fashion. Probably not, because I want to try to make this short, but I got the little clip off. You take your punch and punch your little pins out. There's a lot going on here with the aluminum and metal, and you get corrosion. So even though it's these pins are in good shape, I'm still going to polish them up and put some anti-seize on them when I put it back together. So I'm going to pull these pins the rest of the way out. I'll squish this, the pads over to make room for the new ones. Of course, don't forget, always pump your brake pedal 2 or 3 times to set your pads back in when you're done. So anyway, I'm going to finish this one up. I don't think there's anything more that's necessary to show here. If I find that there is, I'll come back and you can see. But I think I'm going to get this wrapped up. So I'm going to say thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And do your own stuff. You watched me learn some things here today. Fuck around a little bit. But I'm going to have nice new brakes on this. And when I get to the ball joints, I'll video that for you as well. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great day.